Russian Ministry of Defense on June 1 confirmed that the drills were being held by nuclear forces on Russia's own territory with more than 1,000 soldiers. As the United States is set to officially approve the M142 high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, for Ukraine that could strike Russian targets roughly 50 miles, Moscow's military troops launched a nuclear drill in the Ivanovo province in the northeast near the Uvad River. Russian Ministry of Defense on Wednesday, June 1, confirmed that the drills were being held by nuclear forces on Russia's own territory with more than 1,000 soldiers. Russian MA described the nuclear drills as intense maneuvers using 100 vehicles armed with Yars intercontinental ballistic missile launchers. Moscow's nuclear drills were launched after Washington approved an estimated $700 million package of security assistance for the Kyiv's forces. The supply will include air surveillance radars, additional Javelin anti-tank weapons, anti-armor weapons, artillery rounds, helicopters, anti-tank weapon systems and medium-range high-mobility artillery rocket systems as well as spare parts of weaponry. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba had been requesting the long-range missile systems for months, although Pentagon had remained skeptical over fears that Ukraine may launch the rockets into the Russian territory. Russian troops launched thermonuclear-armed intercontinental ballistic missile RS-24 during nuclear drill. As a part of the 11th package of aid, Washington earlier yesterday confirmed that it will be sending Ukraine US-made high-mobility artillery rocket systems, known as HIMARS, to protect itself against the Russian assaults. HIMARS will be equipped with munitions that will help Ukraine launch rockets about 80 kilometers, 49 miles, at the Russian troops. U.S. officials although clarified that Washington is not encouraging or enabling Ukraine to strike beyond its borders, and is not seeking to prolong the war. In a stark reminder of the country's nuclear might, Russia started nuclear-capable military drill launching cruise missiles, hypersonic cruise missiles and thermonuclear-armed intercontinental ballistic missile RS-24 to demonstrate readiness of Russia's deterrent forces. As he launched a spatial military operation inside Ukraine, Russia's President Vladimir Putin ordered his defense minister and the chief of the military to put nuclear deterrent forces in a special regime of combat duty. Putin had accused NATO of making aggressive statements against Russia, as well as condemned the hard-hitting, West-coordinated financial sanctions. Russia's president had also ordered the Kremlin officials to kickstart the nuclear war evacuation drill as he had put the doomsday planes including Ilyushin Il-80 Max Dome on standby. The UK Defence Ministry has said that Russian armed forces continued to carry out long-range missile strikes over Ukrainian infrastructure. Amid the escalating war between Russia and Ukraine, the UK Defence Ministry has released its latest assessment of the ground situation in the war-torn nation. The Defense Ministry said that Russian ground operations remain tightly focused in a small sector of Luhansk. The UK Defense Intelligence has said that Russian armed forces continued to carry out long-range missile strikes over Ukrainian infrastructure. According to the British Defense Ministry, fighting between forces of Russia and Ukraine has intensified in Severodonetsk during 30 to 31 May. It further said that Russian forces have been moved closer to the town center and have now likely captured over half of the town, including Chechnya fighters. The bridge link between Ukraine and Romania has become critical for Ukrainian ports after Russian forces have blocked the Ukrainian Black Sea ports. The latest intelligence update of the UK Defence Ministry comes as the war between Russia and Ukraine has continued for more than 90 days. The strategically important bridge links Ukraine with Romania and with Ukraine's ports on the Danube, which have become critical to Ukrainian exports after the blockade of Ukrainian Black Sea ports by Russia, the British Defence Ministry said in the statement. Zelensky calls situation in Donbass very difficult. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the situation in Donbass very difficult. In his late-night video address on May 31, Zelensky stressed that Severodonetsk, Lysychansk and Kurakhove will remain at the epicenter of the confrontation. Ukrainian president accused Russian forces of conducting blind air bombing and called it just madness. He said that Ukrainian armed forces have been able to rebuff the pressure of Russian troops in the Zaporizhia region and have achieved certain success in Kherson and advancement in Kharkiv. In his remarks, Zelensky welcomed the agreement of the European Union to the sixth package of sanctions. He stressed that they are looking forward to the removal of Sberbank from SWIFT and halting the broadcast of Russian dissemination channels in Europe. Zelensky underscored that refusal of European countries to use Russian oil and other fossil fuel will result in Russia being on the sidelines of the modern economy. Ukraine has claimed that nearly 30,500 Russian troops have lost their lives since Russia began its offensive in Kyiv.